In the previous video, I explained the concepts related to random number generation in C++, and in this video I will design some programs related to random numbers. First, let's try to generate random values and store those values in an array. So I will write a program to generate 10 random values. In my code, I have already included the header files that are required for the use of built-in functions. First, I will call the function as rand with time 0 as the seed. Next, I will declare an array of 10 elements. The name of the array is num and the size of the array is 10. So this is the declaration of an array having 10 elements, and initialization will be done when the random number is generated. After that, let's try to write a for loop for int space I equals to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. And inside the body of this for loop, I will assign the random number generated to each element of num. And in the same loop, the number can be displayed as well at the output. Now, first let's try to execute the code and see the result, and then I will explain the functionality of this code. So here we can see that the 10 values have been generated randomly, and those values are stored in the 10 elements of that array. Now let me explain the functionality of this code. At the start, I have called srand function. Time 0 is used as a parameter for this srand function in order to generate a new seed each time the function is executed. This srand will provide the seed to this rand function. After srand, I have declared an array of data type int. This is the data type, this is the name of the array num, and this is the size of the array. So this array has 10 elements and the data type of each element is int, that is each element is 4 bytes in size, and the name of the array is num. So this array will have elements starting from index 0, num 0 to num 9. Here I have used for loop. Inside the parameters of this for loop, I have declared a variable I of data type int and initialized it to 0. So I will be created here and will be initialized to 0. The next statement is the test condition. This condition is evaluated. I is 0, 0 is less than 10, so the condition is true. The body of for loop will be executed, and inside the body num 0 will be assigned a value generated by the rand function. So this rand function will be called, it will generate a random value, and that value will be assigned to num 0. After that, this cout will display num, then left bracket, then the value of I will be displayed 0, then the right bracket, then equal to sign will be displayed at the screen, and then the value stored in num0 will be displayed. So whatever value is stored in num0 by rand, that value will be displayed here. After that, endl will bring the cursor to the start of the next line, and this is the closing bracket for loop. So when this bracket is encountered, the program will move to the updated equation. And I plus plus, since we have used I as post increment, so I plus plus will not give the updated value of I at this point. In fact, 0 will be observed here, and after that, in this step, I will be updated to 1. So 1 is less than 10, it will be checked. 1 is less than 10, yes, true. Again the body will be executed. Now num 1 equals to rand will be executed. So the value generate, again another value will be generated by rand. That value will be stored in num1, and then this line will display num left bracket, then the value of I1, then right bracket, then equal to, and then the number generated by rand that was stored in num1. So the number stored in num1, it will be displayed here. After that, endl will bring the cursor to the start of the next line, and then again when this closing bracket is encountered, the program will move to the updated expression. At this point, I plus plus will result in 1. At this point, I will result in 2. 2 is less than 10, true. Again, num2 will be assigned another value generated by random number, and that value will be stored in num2. After that, when this cout is executed, then num will be displayed, left bracket 2 equals to, and then the value stored in num2. So that value will be displayed here. So in this way, the program will keep on printing the values until the value of I becomes equal to 10. So when I becomes equal to 9, it will be displayed, the value will be printed, and from that point the program will move to this point. I plus plus will result in 9. At this point, I will become equal to 10. 10 is less than 10, false. So the program will get out of this for loop, and when the program reaches at this point, then the program will be terminated. So this program will store random values in 10 elements of the array and will display that array at the output. Now let's observe the output. So the program has generated these random values, and these random values have been stored in different elements of the array. Now if the requirement of the code is to generate all the random values in the range 0 to 100, then modulus operator can be used as explained in the previous lectures. And to generate values in the range 0 to 100, we need to use rand mod 101. Now the values generated will be in the range 0 to 100. So here the program is displaying all the values, and okay, so the program is displaying all the values, and the values are in the range of 0 to 100. Now let's change the code and generate values in the sequence or in the range 5 to 10. Let's generate values in the range 5 to 10. For that, rand mod, the range is 10 minus 5 plus 1 equals to 6, and the offset is 5. So rand mod 6 plus 5, this expression will be used, and it will generate values in the range 5 to 10. So now I will change the code to implement the required functionality. So now the values lie in the range 5 to 10. If the program is executed again, new sequence of values will be generated. New sequence. Again, if the program is executed, again the new sequence of values will be generated. So all the values lie in the range 5 to 10. Now let's try to change the code, and the code should prompt the user to generate a string in order to start the program or terminate the program. If the user enters a string start, then the program should start generating or should generate 10 values, and if the user enters terminate at the command prompt, then the program should be terminated. Now in order to implement this functionality, I will declare here a string space s, and here I will also include the external file string. At the start, the program should display to user enter start to start the program or terminate to end the program. Here I will use if else to compare. If s equals to start. Now if the user enters start, if the user enters capital S, small t, small a, small r, small t in a string, then the program should generate 10 random values and store those values in an array. Else if the user enters terminate, then the program should be terminated. Cout, program terminated. And in order to terminate the program, we need to use return 0. Whenever return 0 is executed, the control of main is returned back to the operating system or the program is terminated. So return 0 will terminate the program. And else, now if the user has entered any other string that is not start and not terminate, but the user has entered a different string, and the body of else will be executed even if the user enters small s instead of capital S for start, or small t instead of capital T for terminate. Now inside else I will display cout invalid string entered, invalid string. And after that, if you want to rerun the code, then you need to pack that whole code inside a while true block. First, let's try to execute it in this way and see the result. I think this is an extra bracket. Okay, the program has terminated without getting any input from me. Why? Because we have not used cin here. Cin S. Now, and also I will use an escape sequence \n in order to display the message on the next line each time the program is executed. Similarly for terminate and for invalid string. Okay, so enter start to start the program or terminate to end the program. Let me make some minor changes as well. Start capital S and remaining all letters small. So the program has generated the random numbers, have stored those numbers in array and has terminated. Let's try it again. Terminate. Okay, the program has terminated. Now let's try to enter an invalid string. Stop. Invalid string. The program has terminated. Start with small s. Invalid string. Now for invalid string, I want the program to again ask the user to enter a string. So I will use here a while loop with the condition always set to true or 1. So this while is true, and this is the closing bracket of this while. And this while will only be terminated when the program uses or executes the statement return 0. Start. Now again the program is asking the user to enter start to start the program or terminate to end the program. Now if we want to end the program after displaying the array, then we need to use return 0 here at this point. Return 0 should be used here, otherwise the program will keep on asking for the string after displaying the random numbers. Now let me compile it again. Start. So the program has now terminated after displaying all the values. Let's execute it again. Stop. Invalid string. Enter star to start the program. Pause. Invalid string. Terminate. 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 Invalid string. Press star to start the program. Terminate to end the program. So for terminate, it is also displaying invalid. So this is the reason I have used here \n. Now let me execute it again. So there was a mistake. Start. Pause. Terminate. So program has been terminated. Now let's make some changes in the code and enable the user to enter the strings with small s and small t as well. Here I have used logical OR operator, and this expression will check if s is equal to capital S TART or s equals to small s TART. Similarly, for terminate, now the user will be able to enter the string with small s as well. Start. Similarly for terminate. I hope you are already familiar with the concept of this logical OR operator. I will also explain the detailed concept of the logical operators in another video. So for time being, I am not discussing the operation of these operators. Now I will design a code that will ask the user to enter his or her name, and if the user enters his name, then at the output screen the program should display a random greeting to that user. And for that, first I will declare a variable of data type string space name. This variable will hold the name of the user, and then let me declare an array to store all those greetings. The data type of the array is string, and I will store 5 greetings. First greeting is welcome here. Next is hello and welcome. Next one, hope you are enjoying your day. Welcome to the team. We are glad you are here. Now if you like, you may define more, and for that you need to increase the size of this array. So this array is an array of data type string with 5 elements. At S0, welcome here is stored. A string welcome here is stored at S0. At S1, hello and welcome is stored. And at S2, hope you are enjoying your day will be stored. S3, welcome to the team. S4, we are glad you are here. After that, I will use an integer variable. The name of the variable is num, the data type is int. And here I will get the random value by using function rand. Now we want to generate the random values in the range 0 to 4. Rand mod 5 will generate random numbers in the range 0 to 4. And at the start of the code, we also need to use srand as well. Time 0. So each time this code is executed, a seed will be generated. That seed will be passed to this rand, and this rand will generate a random number in the range 0 to 5. That number will be assigned to num, and further we can use num to display the string stored in the array randomly. Cout hello. First, before displaying this string, first let me display here a message to inform the user to enter his name. Please enter your name. Scene name. Now if the name has got spaces in it, then instead of scene, get line should be used. So I will use get line instead of scene. Get line cin, and that input will be stored in name, and get line will be terminated when \n is encountered, that is when the user presses enter. So when the delimiter character is not specified here, then the default delimiter for get line is \n, or default terminator for get line is \n. So get line will be terminated whenever it encounters a \n character. Now at the start, the program will ask the user, please enter your name. The user will enter his name. Get line will read the data from input stream. Scene will store that data in the string variable name and will be terminated when \n is encountered. After that, the program will display a random number, the program will generate a random number, and then the message should be displayed. Hello. It will be printed at the output screen. Then name of the user, hello Bilal, and then the random string. space s num. So whatever number has been generated, that number is moved here into the index of the array, and by using that number we will display a random string from the array. Hussein Ahmed. Hello Hussein Ahmed, welcome here. Okay. John. Hello John, welcome to the team. Ibrahim. Hello Ibrahim, hello and welcome. Now if you want to display these strings inside double quotes on the screen, then you need to use the backslash double quote here. I hope you are familiar with its functionality. So when this backslash double quote is used, each time the string is displayed, that string will be displayed inside double quotes. Amna. Hello Amna, hello and welcome. So now the format looks perfect. John. Hello John, hello and welcome. Now further improvement can be made to this code. You may include more strings, you may include and use more formatting options, and in this way you can use random strings in your program. And now I will explain the functionality. First, this srand will generate seed for this random number, and this is an array of 5 strings. At S0 this string welcome here is stored, and at S4 this string we are glad you are here is stored. So the idea is to generate a random number in the range 0 to 4 and then pass that number to the index of this array. So each time this snum is executed, then the random value generated by the number will be used as the index and a random string will be displayed at the output. So in this way random strings can be displayed. So this line will generate a random number in the range 0 to 4. A single value will be generated each time this function is called, and that value will be assigned to num. After that this statement will display hello. Backslash n will move the cursor to the start of the next line. Then the next backslash n will again move the cursor to the start of the next line, and hello will be printed at the current position of the cursor. So first h will be printed, cursor will be moved to the next, character, then E, then L, L, O, and then cursor will be at this position after printing this hello. After that, space will be printed, then name will be printed, and then the string in the S num will be printed. So if num is 3, then the string stored at S3 will be printed here. If num is 2, string will be printed that is placed at position 2 of this array. So in this way, this code generates random strings. Now let's move on to the design of a dice roll game.